Hello and welcome to yet another of our streams. Well, not yet another, because, well, as you can see, today we have a guest with us. Benjamin, you're quite new here. I mean, not new in Gura Truck, but new in, here on the Realverse. So
Yeah.
if you could just really quickly introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yes, yes, for sure. Well, first, thanks for having me, for taking the time to listen. But yeah, my name is Benjamin Moragrega. I come from the United States. Been living in Spain for about almost 8 years. I've been with Gure Truck for I don't know, almost a year. Almost a year. Like in maybe 2 months, I'll be here for a year, and I'm in charge of our TMS product and our connecting freight. So yeah, it's. I'm glad that you're having me here today.
Yeah, well, so thank you for being a guest. That's the most important thing, obviously. But you mentioned already in your introduction what we'll be talking about here today. So you mentioned the TMS system, TMS truck controller.
Right.
So that's our main topic for today.
Right.
And so, what is a TMS truck controller?
Okay, so a TMS, the acronym, it stands for Transportation Management System. So what this system is with different transport companies, what they can do is they can pretty much manage all of their everything from logistics, procurement, pricing, route management, driver information, vehicle information, trailer information, registering loads, and then also invoicing is a very big, powerful aspect in the TMS. TMSs, there's a lot of other competitors out in the market, such as SAP, Microsoft Dynamics. There's another company called Ansoft that we have out there, but our TMS is very tailored to only Goretra clients that we have here throughout the world. So pretty much with our TMS that we have basic features. And quite frankly, we have some features that other TMSs don't have. And I will speak about that a little bit later on because I think we only have about 30 to 40 minutes. So yeah. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive right in to introducing you into the TMS. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay. Okay. So here we are. Actually, just a second. I have to change this to English real quick. Okay, so what we have here is our main screen here in the TMS truck controller. Okay, so here we have Fleet Manager, and these are pretty much all of the buttons that we have in our system. Okay, so one of the things is that when a company when they want to buy a TMS, they have to integrate all of their data, okay, into our system. Okay, and with other systems, it can be very complex, and with ours, it's actually quite easy. So, for example, if you're a transport company and you have to register, for example, your clients here, okay, what we do is we integrate through CSV. CSV stands for comma separated values. So what it is it's an Excel document with all of your registered client information. Okay, and pretty much here we have a PDF, and pretty much this PDF, it's the basic criteria that we would need filled out from the customer here. And once all of this basic criteria, once this is in the Excel document, we can go back into our system and we can import it through CSV. Okay, so we have an import validation utility. So what we do is you would click this and you can upload the documents and your information into our TMS truck controller. It's very quick. So for example, I'm going to show you, for example, contract subscriptions and cancellations here. So if I need to register my drivers here, I do the same thing. I would register all my drivers through CSV. So I would import it. Same thing with vehicles here. These are all this information was through an Excel document here. Instead of having to manually subscribe to a new vehicle and register it one by one. Imagine you had 100 trucks or 200. Having to enter each one manually would be like a huge headache. So it's one of the main advantages that we have. So here we have subscribed drivers through CSV and update drivers through CSV. And then here with the semi-trailers as well. So it's a very advantageous aspect that we have in the TMS truck controller, because when you're working with these systems, integration is key. And if you're not able to integrate, you're kind of behind the game. So we're really fortunate and lucky that we have an easy way to integrate for the client's information into our system. So here we have our general suppliers. So pretty much with your suppliers, you can have them registered here. I have various suppliers on my account that I've had. And then again, you have your client information here. Another important one, another neat feature that we have in the TMS truck controller is with our products and tariffs buttons here. So with our merchandise, what we can do is we can have a product by a tariff type. Tariffs, pretty much, they regulate the whole pricing of the shipment. Okay, so when you're a transport company, okay, if you want to add a product, right, in our system, you give like the description. For example, let's say steel. Okay, observations. You can add any type of observations to this particular product if it's important or not. But here we can make certain tariffs. We can have a tariff by height, length, width, volume, weight, quantity, distance, and a flat tariff. Okay, a flat tariff is just a fixed price, and typically in Europe, we really don't deal with a lot of tariffs. Maybe by distance and weight, but when it comes to height, length, and width, unless you're dealing with a lot of like pallet loads, that can particularly be a tariff that you would have to use in your shipment. Okay. So those are the different tariff types that we have.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, so thank you for this quick introduction, like to the general, aspects of the TMS. So you mentioned it already, but just briefly. So I'm just gonna, ask the question so we can dive deeper into this topic.
Yeah.
Why our clients should choose TMS rather than a, different management system. I'm not talking about exact functions, but maybe it's easier to use. Maybe there's some other benefits.
Well, the thing is that with our TMS here at Good Truck, particularly our price is very attractive. When you're looking at other TMSs, such as if SAP were to come into your company and they were to set up their product, it could literally, if we take a look here, TMSs, they can range between 10,000 to 250,000 euro. So the thing is that with our product, the way that we price it, okay. So we price it 350 per driver, per vehicle, and per semi-trailer. So for example, that's 1050 right there. That's 1050. Mm-hmm. So the thing is that if you have a fleet of maybe 20 drivers, 20 vehicles, 20 semi-trailers, 20. You're really only looking about maybe 7,000, 8,000 annually. So which is a lot cheaper compared to the TMSs that are out in the current market. So our price is very competitive. Okay. The other thing with our TMS is our GPS locating device. So the thing is that the drivers, they have an application, okay, that they can download. The application is the truck controller application. So the thing is that what you can do is you can manage your drivers. Once they download the application, you can pretty much pinpoint where your drivers are on the maps. So for example, I have 3 vehicles that are made public, but I have one that's registered in my truck controller application here. Okay.
Okay.
So the thing is that when, for example, if I wanted to know where my driver is at a specific point in time, okay, let's see here. This is my vehicle, okay, and pretty much you'd be able to pinpoint him on the map when he has a route. The thing is that since he doesn't have a particular route, it's not going to show on the map currently. But once you assign him a route, he appears on the map. So let's go ahead and I will present you how to build a load in TMS Truck Controller. Does that sound good?
Of course, be my guest.
Okay, here we go. So pretty much in our TMS Truck Controller, we have 10 steps that you have to fulfill. But typically, the 10 stages, there's a lot more aspects to them. So it's not 10 stages that you have to do. There's only 10 buttons. Okay. So this is our interface here that we have in the TMS. Okay. So we have new loads here. We have our scheduling. Okay. We have our route optimizer. Okay. We have journeys in progress. So these are the different steps that your load is going to be in when you're assigning it and when you're building it. Okay. We also have messaging. So for example, if you wanted to message one of your drivers, okay, you would be able to, and hear the notifications that he has for his certain loads. Okay. So this is the message that I sent today, like, hello, Ivan, how is your day going? So pretty much the administrators on the computer, they're always in communication with their drivers that are on the route.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So let's go ahead and let's build a load here. All right. So here we go. So we go into new load. Okay. Then we would select a client here. So let's pick Lisboa Foods Incorporated. Okay, here is our main page where pretty much you have to input the data for the shipment. Okay, so it's pretty important. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's only a few clicks, and the data that you have to put in, and that's about it. So let's go ahead and fill this out. So if you need a reference number, here's the box where you can put a reference number. For example, I could put ML88. Okay. And then here is our route optimizer. So our route optimizer, what it is, it's a feature that we have. So if a transportation company, if they have a lot of routes, a lot of different routes, or a lot of like repeating routes from A to B, or A, B, C, D, and E, you can automatically save these routes. So you're not having to put it in manually every time. So the route's saved, you click it, and that's it. It's done. So for example, I have some saved routes here. Let's see here. Let's go to Hamburg to Warsaw. Okay.
Sure.
So this is our route here. Okay. This is the address, country, region, city, postal code. Okay. So for example, we could say that the shipment's going to leave out today. And let's say that it leaves out at 6 o'clock. Okay. And then let's say that it will arrive on a Friday morning at 8 o'clock. Okay. So with our mapping system, what we use is Google Maps. Okay, so it has a full distance here. There's no distance that's empty because, I mean, unless the trailer is going to be going there empty, you can add this feature here, but for this shipment, it's not necessary. So here in Google, so we can see our route A to B. Okay, if we needed to stop, for example, in Poznan, okay, we could. We can add a stop to Poznan here, or and then if we needed to, let's say, there's another shipment that needs to be delivered or picked up in Cracovia and Krakow. We can add Krakow here. Okay. So this is our new route. So if a client, if they need a lot of specific route information, or if they need to add more information about the particular route, this is where they can add it. So it's a really neat feature that we have. So we can recalculate the distance. Okay. We recalculate it. So now the total distance is like 13,000 kilometers. And we go ahead and we save it. So this is our new route. Okay. But if you wanted to go back and change it, you can.
Okay.
All right. So then here we have our products here, our product by tariffs, which I showed you. So here I can put a flat tariff. Okay, and I'll add this. So again, anything that needs to be specified in the particular shipment, height, length, width, volume, units. If you needed to do pallets, for example, let's see here. If I can take away this, if I wanted to load pallets onto my load, let's see here. Pallets. Right here. You can add pallets to your load. So here we have the pallet state. So we can have the number of pallets that have been shipped, the pallets that have been received, or damaged or lost pallets. So the system is able to calculate all of your pallet inventory. How much has been shipped? How much has been received? How many have been damaged or lost? So this is a really, really valuable feature, especially if you're a transport company that's only dealing with pallet shipments. And you'll have it registered in your TMS account. But for now, we're not going to do pallets. We will just do the flat tariff here. Another good thing with our TMS is that, it's a SaaS. It's a software as a service. So the thing is, it's completely cloud-based. Clients log into their account. They have access to their clients, their products, their suppliers, their route configuration, their pricing analysis. All of that is just included right when you log in, and for the fraction of a price. So it's a very nice. We have a lot of nice features that we have in this particular TMS. So let's put the price 6,500 for this particular shipment. Okay, we'll have it be a full load here. Okay. If you need to add any type of documentation, like for example, CMRs, ADRs, if the shipment, if it's a dangerous, if it has chemical products and things like that, like ATP, all that documentation can be uploaded through PDF here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of click, and then it's automatically attached to the shipment. So we can go ahead and we can put CMR here.
So a driver can access this, this documentation, if you get stopped, for example, right, for control.
Yeah. Because the thing is, it's all on his mobile application. It's all on his mobile application. So the thing is that with the shipment that he has, he pretty much will log in to his TMS truck controller application here. Let me see here.
Okay.
And then he would go to, there's something called documentation. So there's different things that he has access to. And so he has the chat. He's notified that the shipment has to be picked up. And then he has to confirm that's been picked up. And then he has to confirm that it's been dropped off. And then also he can turn his mobile app into a tachograph, and he has automatically the documentation that whatever I put in the system, he will automatically have access to automatically.
Okay, so it's not like he has to wait until it loads, until like it's we're receiving an email, right?
Yeah, no.
So it just automatically there if you okay.
Yeah, any documents that you attach, he'll receive. So we can go and we can add this. Okay. And then if you need to add like any type of like extra cost information, I don't know, like let's say you need to add like a fuel charge or some type of toll tax or some type of like border tax or whatever, you can add the documentation or the amount and you can have it here. But we're not going to add anything right now. So we'll go ahead and we'll save this load. One really quick. Let's see here. And we'll save it. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to assign the load. Okay. So I've pretty much I did some pre-shipments yesterday. These are all of my I did 3 loads yesterday. So what you can do is that if you want to combine shipments, you can combine them. Okay, so this is another feature that we have. It can be a little bit more complex, or we can just go ahead and you can create a single shipment. So what you do is you would click the shipment here. We know that this is the client, this is the origin of where it needs to be picked up. Okay, and then this is the destination. This is where it's going to be going. Okay, so we have the distance, we have the price. So we'll go ahead and we can create the journey. Okay, so these are all my available vehicles here, down here. And then I have my particular subcontractors, okay, because shipments can be subcontracted, okay, or you as a transport company can do it yourself. It just depends on how your business operations are. So pretty much in particular, with a lot of my shipments that I have in my account, I usually use subcontracting. So here's my driver trailer. I'll go ahead and create the journey. So pretty much this notification here, it's telling you to remember to check that the tariff and distances are correct. So in our system, it's really good that it goes in phases, because the thing is, it's making sure that you're checking everything before everything's official. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll confirm the price. Okay, so here with our trips, this is the subcontractor that I'm going to use. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select my vehicle that I have that's registered in the TMS Truck Controller application. Okay, and then here I'll go ahead and I'll select the driver. And then here I'll go ahead and I would select the semi-trailer. So the driver, as you can see, this device is very important here, because this shows that he's registered as the GPS that we have in our system. So on the public maps that we have, this is his number, and when we assign him the journey, we'll be able to see him. Okay. So then everything's confirmed here. Confirmed. If you want to add another trip, you can. We'll go ahead and save it. So now what we'll do is we'll send these notifications to
what are those like? Because there were some like warnings there.
The thing is, yeah. So the thing is, like with overlapping, the thing is, I pretty much use the same driver for my shipments. But what it will let you know is that if his shipments are overlapping each other, then you should probably pick another driver, because he's already assigned to a route.
Yeah, well, he obviously can't do both.
Exactly, he can't be at 2 places at once, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so that was the notification because I don't have 100 phones to to have each driver in. So then what we do now is we send the notifications here. So he'll get a notification. Okay. So what I do, so then, imagine that I'm in the truck, and, I download the truck controller app. My phone just says, you've been assigned a new travel here, a new journey. So I go ahead and I click on this. I look at my chat and I say, okay. So now what it's asking me to do, it's asking the driver to pick up the load. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to confirm. So he has this information here. He has the route of the journey in Google Maps. So Google Maps will open. And then Google Maps will tell him automatically the route that he has through here. So I can go back. I'll go ahead and I'll confirm the shipment. Okay. And then you confirm that the shipment's dropped off. So I'll go ahead and here and I confirm there. And I click yes. So now all of my documentation, if I needed to add any ADR documentation, he would have that, he would have access here. Any incidences that he might have, he can take a picture with his phone and then I would receive it into the system. It's also a very neat feature as well. There's a lot of features that we have in the TMS truck controller.
Okay, so it's not like you register a load and you forgot something when it's over and you just have to, have to bear with the consequences. You can actually correct it later, right?
You can correct it later, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So once the load's finished, this is one of our strongest points that we have in the TMS is that we're able to invoice. Okay. The thing with like invoicing with like, maybe it depends on maybe like the European market, but for example, countries like, Spain, Portugal, um, you know, versus the Northern European countries, our economic situation, it's not as rich. So there's some transport companies that are just still working with paper. They're working with paper, they're putting it in booklets, they have to put it, in storage, and then, once they have to invoice, they take it out again and they're flipping through it. So, it takes longer time, money, for people to, and especially depending on how many times you have to invoice a day. So imagine, if you're just working with a paper-based system in your company and you maybe have 30 trucks or 20 trucks, searching through all of that data, it can be a big waste of time. When here with TMS truck controller, $350 per driver, vehicle, and semi trailer. I mean, only paying maybe 1,500 euros a month. I mean, you have nothing to lose. It's a great system. So back to the invoicing here. Since the driver, he confirmed everything in his shipment, what you'd have to do is you would go down here. So this is our load. This is all of the confirmed information that we have. Okay. So we'll go ahead and we click this and we can create an invoice here. And the really neat thing that with our invoicing system is that companies, they can customize their own invoicing sheets. So pretty much I've customized my own invoicing data here. So what I can do is I can put an expiration date on the invoice on how long it's good for. I don't know, typically you can do, maybe 15, 20 days, put it to like the 19th. Okay. So here we have the VAT, the tax that's included into the shipment. Any private observations, any public observations that you might need, you can add them here. So we'll go ahead and we'll save this and we can exit. and we can approve. So this is our shipment that we had. Let's see here. This is a bit different. Hold on. So this is our invoice that we have. So obviously the transport company is Mora Garega Transporte. Has my information here, the client direction, the direction that it was sent. So the thing is that here in Truck Controller, since I typically work in Spanish, so the thing is that what you can do is with our invoicing system, we can go to our settings, and with our invoices, we can print in, obviously you can see almost in 20 languages.
Whoa.
In 20
Okay.
languages. So we have Bulgarian, Czech, Danish, English, Basque, even Basque, huh? For those Ushkaduns that would like to invoice in Basque, Polish, Norwegian, Portuguese, Romanian, Russian. So yeah, it's a, we're very fortunate to be multilingual here at Gure Truck. And yeah, so, and invoicing is very important because, you know, if you're not invoicing correctly or you're having problems, you know, it can be a real headache because if you're not able to invoice properly, you're not going to get paid for the shipment. So you have to be able to invoice in a way where you are returning and receiving money. It's very important. Another aspect that I didn't go over before we were creating the shipment is here. Let me show you real quick. Is the route optimizer. Okay, so the route optimizer, again, if you needed to create a new route, okay, so let's say that I want to put two routes together that exist independently, but now I want to put them together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's say that I want to put Galicia Food Trans. Okay. So Galicia is in northern Spain. And then let's say that I want to go to Bilbao. Okay. So I can go ahead and put Galicia Food Trans to Bilbao, and I can go ahead and I can save it. We have all the metrics here. It has all the road data that we use through Google Maps. And then we have more information here. This is pretty much basic data, you know, country, region, address, postal code, but it's all necessary to creating the fastest route that you can take. So we can go ahead and we can save it and say yes. And then we can go back. Let's see here. Let's refresh. So let's see here. Let's filter. So this was ours, Galicia Food Trans Bilbao. So this is our particular route. It gives us more information here. Okay. If you need to edit the route, we can go here. Okay.
Mhm.
And let's say, real quick. So this is where we can edit the route here. So like, let's say that we needed to add a stop in Madrid, or no, not Madrid. Something more logical, in Oviedo. We can add it here. So it automatically adds this particular stop. You can justify it for whatever reason you want. You can go ahead and you can save it. So now, when we go back to here, so now we see that there's two stops here. So imagine, you know, if you're a transport company and you have just multi-shipment stops, you know, 5, 6 stops, you can automatically save this information into your particular route. You can make it as complicated as you want, but typically it's a very advantageous aspect that we can have in our TMS truck controller. And All they do is they click the button, all the route information is saved, and all the documentation that you need to add to the particular shipment is also saved. So yeah. Any other questions for the route optimizer?
I think it's all pretty much clear. Unless
Yeah.
you have something to add, then obviously. Yeah, just a quick message to our viewers. This all may seem complicated, obviously, but don't worry, because the stream will be saved. The stream will be saved, obviously, here on Twitch. So if you want to access it in the future and see how it works, see our interview once again, then you will be able to do it. And also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that if you want to how to learn, if you want to learn how to use TMS track controller, then I think GridTrack also offers some training, right?
Yeah, I would offer all the classes and pretty much the lessons that you need to pretty much know how to navigate and dominate this particular TMS. And I'm responsible for like the implementation, um, any customer service help that they might need, any problems that the client has, they would come to me. So I'm here, and before we end, how much time do we have left?
Well, a couple of minutes. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Okay. So another particular feature that we have is we have document management. Okay. So what's really nice is we have driver incidences. Okay. So if a driver had like an accident or something like this, or he was sick, right? We could put certificates or incidences here. Okay. But when you're selecting the driver, when you're selecting the driver for the particular route, you can create an alarm. So it could be like, alarm, this driver isn't available because, he's been sick for like 2 weeks and et cetera, et cetera. So this is another feature that we have. Let's see here. Also, we have profit analysis. So here we have total profits of your company, profit by client, profit by subcontracts, profits per vehicle semi-trailer, productivity of vehicles. So this is pretty much big data. Okay, so this is taking the number of journeys that you had that you've invoiced, extra invoicing, total expenses. Pretty much I've spent almost 5 million euros in my account. Um, the total distance that I've been assigning for my drivers. Okay. So yeah, and then it gives you the number of loads that you've been doing per country, destinations, etc., etc. So then you have filters. You can get rid of these filters, and then the numbers just get even bigger. So this is pretty much since the beginning. So this is all the data I've done. 166 shipments in Spain, 27 in Germany. So yeah, it's really really nice to able to have access to this. Also, when you have different loads here, let me see here. So I have a total of 238 loads. So here in the TMS, every load is saved automatically. You're not able to delete loads. Okay. So this is pretty much your load library. Anytime you need to look up a shipment, okay, when you have the reference number or whatever in the system, you can cross-reference and you will have all the information for that particular load. So like let's say that one of your clients calls and they're like, or not client, one of your suppliers calls or the subcontractors, like, hey, we need the invoice for the shipment that's LP88, right? I would go here, and you have access to all of the shipment data here. You have access to all the shipment data, and then if you need the particular invoice, you can go to invoice and analysis. Okay. And you literally can find every single invoice that you've done since the beginning. and you will automatically have it through our SaaS system. Through our SaaS system. So yeah, so this is a very neat feature, very useful. But just depending on what you need. If you're a transport company and you want to register all of your drivers somewhere, all of your vehicles in one place, that way you just have simple access to their information. You can do that. If you just want to use the TMS for invoicing purposes, you can do that. If you want it just to, for each individual thing, or you can use it as a complete system. So it just depends on what you need it for and why you need it and how our TMS can help you. So this is where we come into play, and this is how we help our clients at Good Truck.
Okay. Well, there is certainly a lot of that, but believe me, it's not us. I'm talking to our viewers, obviously, because you know that. But it's not as complicated as it may look. So okay, Benjamin, thank you so much for this very very extensive extensive explanation of how TMS truck controller works. What is it? Why our clients should use it? And do you have anything else to add? Something for our clients, or something for our viewers in general?
Yeah. Our next presentation will be about our connecting freight. It's something that we've just launched. It's similar to a. It's not a freight forwarding system, but pretty much this system. It's available for Goody Truck clients to look for loads to take. So pretty much, it's a very unique system, and it will be in our next presentation, maybe in a week or 2 weeks. I think I'll try and prepare one. But overall, yeah. There's also some more things. I mean, we only had a limited amount of time, but there's more things that I like to explain with the TMS, also with our shared shipment feature. So this shared shipment feature, shared trips, what it is that if two Good Truck users, okay, if they are doing business together, okay, pretty much they're able to the user is able to track the subcontractor's shipment. And this is a very, very, very neat feature that we have, and I will include this in our next presentation with the connecting freight. But yeah, I think if you're looking for an affordable TMS and you're looking to manage all of your fleet with, product and documentation that's easy to save and to send to your drivers. If you're looking for, profit analysis, expenditures, and just a very simple interface, Good Truck, the TMS truck controller, it's a good place to start. It's a good place to start.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Well, we ended with a bit of a cliffhanger, so you showed us what will be. We showed what we'll be talking about in our next streams, and so we'll see each other probably a couple of times, because there are a lot of things to talk in the context of TMS and the connecting freight and all the things you mentioned. So once again, Benjamin, thank you so much. I see there are no questions on chat, so I guess everything is clear.
Mm-hmm.
And
Definitely.
yeah, so once again, thank you for this explanation. Thank you also to our viewers for being here with us, for listening to us. And we will see each other, quite soon. I mean, me and our viewers in next week.
Yeah.
And hopefully, Benjamin, I will see you also here in a quite short time.
Likewise. Thanks for having me, and happy New Year to all the Good Truck clients, and I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, and a happy new year to you all.
Happy New Year. Bye.